Dear students, in this session of graphics and multimedia, today we will discuss on various colors model which are used in graphics. So, a color model is an orderly system for creating a whole range of colors from primary colors. There are two types of color models. One is called subtractive, whereas other one is called additive. Additive color models are used to use light to display color, while subtractive models use printing inks. Colors perceived in additive models are the result of transmitted light. Colors perceived in subtractive model are the result of reflected light. So, one depends upon, the additive model relies upon transmitted light, whereas the subtractive model relies on reflected light. Although there are several established color models used in computer graphics, but the topmost common are red, green, blue. In short, we say RGB color model, and CMYK in short, whereas it denotes cyan, magenta, yellow, black model. Apart from these two, another one is HSB and YIQ color models. Let's take one by one. Red, green, blue, RGB color model. It is a model for computer displays which uses light to display color, and the result color becomes from transmitted light, like red along with green with blue, that becomes white. It is a well known fact, and immediately I will show with a model the conversion of RGB to XYZ is given via the chromaticity XG, YG, ZG and XB, YB, ZB of the CRT phosphors by matrix multiplication. These colors are generally demonstrated with the use of cube vertices. So, the matrix on the screen is showing, depicting the chromaticity, and you are seeing that chromaticity equal to XR plus YR plus ZR. So, that finally becomes 1 minus X minus Y divided by Y into Y, where XG, YG and XR and XB are weight applied to the monitor's RGB colors to find X, etc. As you are looking on a screen image, this color model is often described as a cube by mapping the red, green and blue dimensions onto the X, Y and Z axis in three-dimensional space. This is illustrated in the interactive instant example on screen, where all possible color mixes are represented within the bounds of the cube. So, in the instant color model, please be attentive on the screen model. So students, please be attentive on the screen. As you know that red color is placed on the x-axis. So if we are moving this ring that is horizontally moving, it is on the x-axis. Likewise, the green color which is placed upon y-axis, it is vertically moving, you are seeing, and the blue color which is placed on z-axis, so it is diagonally moving. So now you are understood that how these colors are placed on various axes. Now if all are about to 100%, then the color will be white, as you are seeing in the enclosed circle. So inside the circle the white color is appearing. Whenever all these are 0% or nearer to 0%, the color is appearing here dark black. So it is now it is clear, crystal clear, that the combination of red, green and blue in totality generates white color, and if partially all these are moved, I think if it is placed about 50%, the color will appear like this, as you are seeing in the inside the box. So as per our requirement, we move these balls on various axes to see that what percentage of what color combination gives us what type of color. Well, I think you all were understood that how red, green, blue, I mean RGB color model prepares color for our computer graphics. Okay. Now we move to another model, that is CMYK color model. This stands for cyan, magenta, yellow and is used for hard copy devices, I mean for printing purpose. In contrast to color on the monitor, the color in printing acts subtractive and not additive. A printed color that looks red absorbs the other two components, green and blue, and reflects red. Thus its internal color is green plus blue is equal to cyan, red plus blue is equal to magenta, red plus green is equal to yellow. Thus the CMYK coordinates are just the complements of RGB coordinates. As you are seeing on screen, C in the matrix form is equal to 1 and R, M 1G, whereas Y 1B. So this is the combination as well as formation of CMYK color model. If we want to print a red looking color, that is with RGB coordinates, that requires 100. We have to use CMY values of 0, 1, 1. Likewise, black RGB 0, 0, 0, which corresponds to CMY is equal to 1, 1, 1, which should be principally absorbed R, G and B, red, green and blue, but in practice this will appear as some dark grey. In below bottom part of the slide, you are seeing cyan equal to green plus blue is equal to white minus red. Whenever red is subtracted from white, that becomes cyan, leaving green plus blue, green and blue. Likewise, when green is subtracted from white, leaving red and green, and that becomes magenta. Similarly, if blue is subtracted from white, leaving red and green, and that appears as yellow. So, this is the way of CMYK color model. The next model, that is HSV, a polar color model that describes colors, hue or tint, in terms of their shade and their brightness. It is non-linearly transformed version of RGB. HSV model is generally used today in color pickers, in image editing software, and less commonly in image analysis and computer vision. H, which stands for hue, the color type such as red green, it ranges from 0 to 360 degree. Red at 0 degree, green at 120 degree, blue at 240 degree, and so on. HSV color model is based on polar coordinates, not Cartesian coordinates. HSV is non-linearly transformed version of RGB cube. Here it transformed in the skewed mode. Hue, that is the quantity that distinguishes color family, say red from yellow, green from blue, etc. Saturation, I mean chroma, color intensity, a strong to weak, intensity of distinctive blue, distinctive hue, or degree of color sensation from that of white or grey. Value, luminance, light color or dark color. So, for this purpose, we use here. It is important to note that the three dimensions of HSV color model are interdependent. These depend upon each other. If the value dimension of a color is set to 0%, the amount of hue and saturation does not matter, as the color will be black. Likewise, if the saturation of a color is set to 0%, the hue does not matter, as there is no color used. Because the hue dimension is circular, the HSV color model is best depicted as cylinder. This is illustrated. I am just going to illustrate this in the interactive example, where all possible color mixes are represented in the bounds of the cylinder. So, let us see on the screen the interactive HSV color model. Dear students, please look on the screen. Here the HU, the hue part is denoting by this way. Hue means how angular it moves, and the saturation, a color which is how much saturated, and the brightness, the color's brightness are controlled by this one. So, you are seeing that the color brightness is on y axis in mode of percentage, how much percentage. Likewise, the saturation is also in the percentage mode, and on x axis, which is moving on horizontally on the object, whereas the hue, how angular it changes, the object is being changed, you are seeing on the screen. So, it is given in the degree. If it is about to 360 degree, about to 100%, then the color will be red, as you are seeing inside the circle. If the degree is nearer to 0%, the saturation is also nearer to 0, and the brightness is also least, I mean ki 0%. You are seeing that again it is composed as black. You are seeing here. Please give attention on the mouse pointer where mouse pointer is lying. So, as per requirement, we place our saturation and brightness, and the hue is also controlled by the angle. So, you may observing on the screen that how this interactive color model, which is depicting about the HSB color model, gives us colors. Due to the hue angle, it changes. Here it gives blue, here it's green, here again red, the original, so on. So, this is all about HSB color model. Okay, I hope you all were well understood this HSB color model. Okay. Now we move to next, that is YIQ color model. YIQ is a recording of red, green and blue for transmission efficiency and compatibility with black and white broadcast TV. Students, initially the television was in black and white mode only. Sometime later, I mean some longer period later, we started to see the images on the screen in 3 colors. So, how those black and white converted to color? This model helps in that. One, the recorded signal is transmitted using the National Television System Committee NTSC system. The Y component of YIQ is not yellow but luminance and is defined to the same as Commission International d'Éclairage, in short or popularly known as CIE, which defined 3 standard primaries called X, Y, Z to replace red, green and blue in the matching process. Only the Y component of a color TV signal is shown on black and white televisions. For that very purpose, we see Y is equal to 0.3 red plus 0.59 green plus 0.11 blue on the black and white monitors. So, yellow color is a combination of 30% of red, 59% of green, 11% of blue. The chromaticity is encoded in I and Q mode. In the matrix form that may be described as apparent on the screen. The quantities in the first row reflect the relative importance of green and red and the relative unimportance of blue in brightness. The inverse of red, green, blue to yellow, indigo, YIQ is used for the YIQ to RGB conversion. Above equation A assumes that RGB color specification is based on the standard NTSC RGB phosphor whose CIE coordinates are X 67%, red 67% which lies upon X axis, green 21% and blue 14%. All these 3 lies upon X axis, whereas on Y axis red 33%, green 71% and blue 0.8%. The advantages of this model is that more bandwidth can be assigned to the Y component which shows luminance, to which the human eye is more sensible than to color information. So for NTSC TV encoding of YIQ is H. 4 megahertz is assigned to Y. 1.5 to 1 megahertz assigned to I, which is good for a small images, and 0.6 megahertz assigned to Q. So these are the various altitudes allocated to the different colors to transmit the images on our TV screen. So this is all about the all four color models. So in this session, in all this, okay, thank you.